It's funny because I was thinking about that. I was thinking about this yesterday in terms of hip hop, and particularly in terms of underground and like the rapid production.
Mm.
And I think, with pop, the way I thought, and I don't know why this thought popped into my head. I was just driving and I'm thinking, like, if it's so easy for an artist to produce a song, what is that telling? What is that saying to the listener? Like if I hear an album in March or something, and I know, okay, this artist is pretty prolific, I'll probably get another album in June. What are you training your audience to do?
Let me give you a different way to think about it.
Okay.
Okay. Because it might be simpler than
Mm-hmm.
that, right? Let's say you're ST Knack, right? Because the underground space is different from the pop space.
Mm-hmm.
Those two artists, I said, they had already kind of taken the world by storm and gotten their things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's say you're ST Knack from Boston, Massachusetts, and you just start cranking out music,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why are you cranking out music? What does it add? You know what it adds? Every new project you put out with a new person
Yeah.
reaches a different set of people.
And
So he does a collab album with Mike Schaub. Mike Schaub's from Montreal,
right.
right? Now the Montreal folks are tapping into ST Knack. He does an album with Griselda, released with Griselda. Now they're hearing Knack for the first time. By doing this with me, you know that sometimes the fourth album, fifth album is the first one you heard. And that's the one that connects you. So if you keep releasing,
Mm-hmm.
you keep putting your line in the water. Like,
But
yeah,
what I would say to that is, if you're, like the way, and I was thinking about like this too, like, because if you're trying to create a fan base, like think about like Mariah Carey. We'll go back to Mariah Carey. When Mariah Carey releases an album, right, and then goes and does a concert with thousands of people, everyone in that building knows that song and is singing along.
right.
There's a community. Now, if you're presenting several different versions of yourself to your audience, so that means when you have a concert, you're gonna have you're gonna have a section of it like, oh, I like album one version of this artist. You're gonna have a section like, oh, I like album two version of
Correct,
this.
correct. But
So
at least
you're
they're all
kind of
there.
split.
At least
your
they're all
your
there.
your base doesn't really have a community because you have
Yeah,
multiple
right,
subdivided communities in your base.
right. What I think what you do, what people do, because Vince, we go back to Vince, right? Vince
Yeah.
Staples. Um, Mixtape artist, right?
Hmm.
Released a bunch of mixtapes,
Hmm.
right? Vince Coltrane, one, two, whatever, like released a bunch of mixtapes to get his footing, did a bunch of features to get his footing, right?
Right.
And once he did that, and once he got bigger and bigger looks, slowed down. As he escalated in popularity, he
Hmm.
slowed down, right? Was it there was the Rick Ross quote? He's like, I can't do mixtapes. Every song I make is special now. Right. So
Right.
it you cross a line there. The people that a lot of the people that we're dealing with who are releasing a ton of stuff are still trying to get footing and this is an attempt to find that footing. If they do though, they need to slow down once they do. Is my point.
Like I think of like, like a, I don't know, maybe we'll go like a 50 Cent. Like you go to a 50 Cent concert, what songs are, probably your favorite song is going to be performed.
Right.
So for me, like if you're out here popping out records, and they're, you know, each record is a different direction. Like if I'm a fan, I don't know what I'm going to get when I go to your show. I don't even know if you're going to play my favorite song because you have so many different versions of yourself.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, I went to see 50 Cent live, right?
Yeah.
And I think he saw somebody in a Ja Rule shirt, or somebody yelled just something pro Ja Rule. He stopped the show, put the spotlight on the guy, and he did this song about being a pussy to the guy's face that it was from a mixtape. It was about Ja. He did a snippet of that, and then he had security throw him out, right? Classic 50 Cent story. But I looked around and was like, I'm probably the only one in this building who knows that song.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like 50 Cent did release a ton of mixtapes. He absolutely did flood the streets.
Yeah.
And he became like, people were like, he's the king of New York mixtapes. And then he got the deal, and then he curated his album. Right? So that's my thing, is like, there's different speeds at different levels of visibility. But when you get more resources, your fans will expect you to utilize those resources in a way that pays off. Right? Like, it's the, you know, the Milwaukee, you know, a small market team has a different expectation level than a big market team. Right?
Right.
They're going to be a lot more patient with you because you don't have the resources. Once you do have these massive resources, fans are going to look at you like, where's this money going? So Vince, Kendrick, the solution is, I'm going to hit you really hard when I have it right.
Well, and they've turned, I mean, they've turned their projects into events.
Right.
And I mean, I do think that that's missing. Like, you know, when Kendrick drops, apparently it's coming soon, that's going to be an event.
Sure.
People are going to stay up till 12 a.m. I remember when Mr. Morale came out, I was overseas in a country that had like a 7-hour time difference. Or it was something like that. So when I listened to, I stayed up till like, I set my alarm and I think I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I was looking at the iTunes waiting to listen to this project at 5 a.m.
Damn.
And I think you've got to figure out a way to make your albums events.
Niggas die off of Poppy Street. Bet my mama vouch. They drop by, we don't run inside, bitch, we shoot it out. On my grind,